Anime is full of iconic duos, from Goku and Vegeta to Naruto and Sasuke, all the way down to even Luffy and Meat. But when it comes to the greatest duo in anime, the friendship I think we should all strive for, there's no better example than Luffy and Zoro. Their bond is unmatched, built on unbreakable loyalty and the ability to bring the best out of each other. In this video, I'll break down why these traits make them work so well together and why it sets them apart from other duos in anime. One of the biggest traits that separates Zoro and Luffy's bond is their insane loyalty to each other. It's not a stretch to say Luffy and Zoro would die for each other, and this being the basis of their friendship is why their dynamic is so interesting. There's countless moments in the show that prove Zoro's loyalty for Luffy, but a few stand out above the rest. One example is when Zoro was willing to cut Usopp off from the crew for disrespecting Luffy. Zoro was the one to put his foot down and demand Usopp apologize because he understood how it would undermine Luffy as a leader if there were no consequences for Usopp's actions. Another example is when Zoro bowed to his main rival, Mihawk, asking him to train him, knowing he has to get stronger for Luffy's sake. Zoro is the most prideful member of the Straw Hats, but when it comes to Luffy, even he's willing to put his pride to the side. But if there's one moment that truly confirms Zoro's loyalty to Luffy, it's what happened at Thriller Bark, which in the words of Zoro, after the events of Thriller Bark, Kuma shows up with orders from the world government to eliminate the Straw Hats. While Luffy is still knocked out from his battle with Moria, the Straw Hats, led by Zoro, all attempt to stop Kuma's attack. Obviously, at this point in their journey, they're no match for one of the warlords of the sea, so none of their attacks leave as much as a scratch. Kuma decides that just leaving with Luffy's head should be enough for the world government, so he decides to offer the Straw Hats an ultimatum. He says he'll spare their lives in exchange for them handing over Luffy. The Straw Hats stand their ground, so Kuma hits them with what's supposed to be a finishing blow, the Ursa shot. After completely destroying the Straw Hat crew, Kuma goes to grab Luffy, but Zoro steps back in. Once again, no, this isn't enough. And once Zoro realizes how hopeless the situation is, he decides to make a compromise with Kuma. Zoro offers his own head in exchange for Luffy's safety. He says he's not as famous as Luffy, but seeing as he's going to be the world's strongest swordsman one day, it should be enough. After hearing Zoro's ambition, it confuses Kuma why somebody would give up such a huge ambition for somebody else, and Zoro's response is perfect. He says, "The way I see it, there's only one way to save my crew. What good is ambition if I can't even save the life of my own captain?" He declares Luffy will become the king of the pirates, and when Sanji tries to step in, Zoro knocks him out because he wants to make this sacrifice alone. Kuma agrees and decides to give Zoro a glimpse of all the pain and suffering Luffy endured during his fight with Moria. Even after being sent in a shock just from a tiny piece, Zoro still agrees to go through with it. What happens next is arguably the most iconic moment in One Piece, not just because of Zoro's sacrifice, but because of what it represents. The ultimate proof of his unwavering loyalty as Luffy's right-hand man. This loyalty isn't just one-sided though. Luffy also trusts Zoro with his life in exactly the same way. From the moment Luffy first met Zoro and asked him to join his crew, his trust in him has never been questionable. Luffy's loyalty to Zoro isn't as direct, but is shown through his willfulness to trust Zoro's strength and leadership. When Usopp tried coming back to the crew after leaving, against his own first judgment, Luffy didn't accept him back until he actually took responsibility and apologized. Luffy trusts that if anyone wants what's best for the crew as a whole, it's Zoro, which is why he takes his suggestions on how the crew should be run to heart. In the same way that Zoro would die for Luffy's dream, Luffy would never step in the way of Zoro's. When Zoro challenged Mihawk, Luffy didn't step in to help even when the outcome was obvious out of respect for Zoro's dream. And you know the most impressive part of this all is that Luffy still believes in Zoro even after he lost to Mihawk with a fucking butter knife. It's this belief that makes their bond so strong and why they're the best duo in anime. Unlike Naruto and Sasuke or Goku and Vegeta, their loyalty is unbreakable. This is because it's based on sacrifice, trust, and respect. They're not only loyal to each other, but each other's dreams too. Luffy would give anything to see Zoro achieve his dream of being the world's strongest swordsman, and Zoro would do the same for Luffy. Their loyalty isn't just about protecting each other, it's about pushing each other to be their best. And that's exactly why they inspire each other to grow in ways no other duo can. Duos in anime typically use rivalry or tension for the characters to progress. However, this isn't the case for Luffy and Zoro. Their growth happens side by side as friends and comes from wanting to see each other achieve their dreams. Zoro's goal of becoming the strongest swordsman isn't fueled by selfish ambition, it's a responsibility he carries for Luffy's sake. He knows that for Luffy to become the pirate king, he needs the strongest crew, and as his right-hand man, Zoro refuses to be a weak link. The moment Zoro bows to Mihawk isn't just about his own dream, it's proof that Luffy's ambition pushes him just as much as his own. At the same time though, Luffy never doubts Zoro's potential and fully trusts him to stand by his side as an equal. Luffy's growth as a leader is fueled by the belief Zoro and the rest of the crew have in him. He knows as the leader of the crew, he holds everyone's dreams on his back, so he has to be the best leader possible. This is why Luffy values Zoro's advice on leadership and trusts him to keep him in check. Zoro isn't just Luffy's strongest crew member, he's the one who keeps him grounded when his emotions or recklessness take over. Whether it's stopping Luffy from letting Usopp come back without an apology or reminding him to stay focused and dress Rosa, Zoro is always there to make sure Luffy never loses sight of what it means to be a captain. Their bond isn't built on competition, it's built on trust, responsibility, and the unwavering belief that they'll reach their dreams together. This kind of bond is rare, not just in One Piece, but anime as a whole. Most iconic duos thrive on rivalry, pushing each other forward through competition or conflict, but Luffy and Zoro's dynamic is different. It isn't about proving who's stronger, but about making each other stronger. This is the main thing that separates them apart from other anime duos. Goku and Vegeta are arguably the most popular duo in anime, and they follow the mode of being rivals. When Goku first unlocked the Super Saiyan transformation, it ate away at Vegeta until he was able to achieve it. Both of them strive to be stronger than the other, and this power struggle leads to, let's just say, some toxic moments.
Tell me, is it slavery when you get what you want?
Yeah, Vegeta was wildin'. In order to get Goku riled up to fight him to prove who was stronger once and for all, Vegeta killed innocent civilians to make him mad. In the same vein, Sasuke gave up his loyalty to Naruto in exchange for power too. Sasuke's loyalty as a comrade and friend to Naruto was thrown away when he decided to leave the village for a chance to get closer to his own dream. A true friend is somebody who can make us do what we can. Ralph Waldo Emerson. Oda perfectly captures the beauty of friendship with Luffy and Zoro's relationship. They constantly bring the best out of each other, and their loyalty and trust is not only undeniable, but mutually understood without constant need for affirmation. What makes One Piece so great is that as the audience, we actually see all these scenes that show the sacrifices they're willing to make for each other. Luffy or the rest of the crew never learns about the whole nothing happened scene, and Zoro doesn't see all the struggles Luffy endures for the crew. At the end of the day, a great friendship isn't about rivalry or constant validation. It's about loyalty, trust, and pushing each other to reach new heights. And that's exactly why you need a friendship like Luffy and Zoro. If you made it this far in the video, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment down below. I love you, and I'm out. Peace.